Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at lexicographically smallest equivalent string, which is from Leetcode number 1061. A prerequisite before watching this is to learn all about disjoint set, union find with path compression. So I already have two videos. The link for them will be in the description below. The first video will be simple disjoint set union find, and the second one will be based on union by rank and path compression. In this case you will be needing path compression. Okay. Now in this problem you are given two strings of the same length s1 and s2 of a string base str. We say s1 at I and s2 at I are equivalent characters. For example, s1 being a, b, c and s2 being c, d, e, you can say that a and c are equivalent, b and d are equivalent, c and e are equivalent. Now equivalent characters follow the usual rules of equivalence relation: reflexivity, symmetry and transitivity. You can say that the same items are equal, or you can say symmetric, and a is equals to b, then you can also write b equals to a, and a equals to b, b equals to c, then a equals to c, right? In this case, for example, given the equivalence information from s1 equals abc and s2 equals cde, acd and aab are equivalent strings of the base string eed. Well, how I am getting this even? So in this case, for eed, can you write e equals to a? Well, if you see how the relationship goes, a and c are equal and c and e are equal, so you can say that a equals c equals e. So a, c, e all are equivalent, right? So you can write them interchangeably. So you can replace this with a, you can replace this e with any of these items in this set, right? A, c, e. So you can replace it with c. And for this d, where does it belong? You can write it as d as well, and you will get acd, right? How can you get double a, b? So for this e, a is also e equals to e, so you can replace this e with a, you can replace this e with another a. And for d, what is the equivalence? B and d are same, right? So you can replace it with b and you will get aab, right? So they are trying to say that from the base string double ed, you can get both the strings acd, aab, and maybe you will be able to generate many other string. But for this given base string and for this given relationship for s1 and s2, you can say that aab is the lexicographically smallest equivalent string of with the base str that you can generate. Okay. So we need to return the lexicographically smallest equivalent string of the base str by using the equivalence information from s1 and s2. Now let's understand this entire stuff with an example. Now if you look at the first example, then s1 is Parker, Parker. This is string s1, and s2 string is Morris, Morris. Now how is the equivalence relation defined? Well, you can define that p equals to m, a equals o, r equals r. I mean, they both are same, so they must be equal. K equals r, e equals I, and r equals s. If you try to put them in separate set of items where they are all equal, then you can say that p equals m. I should write double equals, but let's write one equal, right? And a equals o, then you are putting r equals r, it is the same thing, right? K equals r, so you will be writing k equals r. Then you write e equals I, and you write r equals s. Now if you put them all in picture, then how will you put them under different set? P comma m can be put under the same set because they are equal, right? A comma o can be put under the same set. Again you can see k comma r can be put under the same set. E comma I can be put under one another set. R comma s, well, r is already in a set, so you can put another item there, right? So there are four sets. If you can see, there are four sets, four different sets. From this equivalence relationship, you can say that I can divide all these items into four sets here in such a way that this is set 1, set 2, set 3 and set 4. So if I happen to have a character k, I can change it with either k or r or s. That is the meaning of it, because they are all equivalent. If I have character a, I can replace it with either a or o. Okay, and likewise you can understand. So you have to create this set of set. You have to create this set of set where each of the smaller set contains all the items which are equivalent. Once you get this, then you know what is the base string. It is parser. What our goal is to generate the lexicographically smallest string that you can generate out of the base string, having known this entire set of set. That means having known S1 and S2 and their relationship. How can we do this? Well, if you look at what should I replace with P, look at the set of P. In order to get the lexicographically smallest string, you should replace P with whichever one is having the smallest ASCII value. You know M will have the smallest ASCII value. So within this set, always choose the smallest ASCII value item. Now for this A, what is its set? The set is A comma O. So what is the smallest lexicographically ASCII item? You can say it is A. Then for R belongs to this set 3. Here the smallest value is K, so you will be replacing it with K. For this S belongs to again the same set, so again you will take K. For this E belongs to this set where E is the smallest. For R belongs to again this set, so it will be K, right? And that is why the answer is MA double K E K. You see, MA double K E K, right? So the entire goal of this problem is to take S1 and S2 and generate a set of set. This is a set of set where each of the smaller set will be containing all the equivalent item. And whenever you are done with this, you can parse through all the characters in the base string and you can see for each character to which set it belongs and pick the smallest ASCII character from that set and replace it. That is how you can convert the base string to lexicographically smallest string. If you were asked to do it for lexicographically largest string, then you pick the largest ASCII value, right? So for maintaining set of set, you must be aware that we can use the disjoint set union find, isn't it? That is one of the best data structure to go for. In this case, s1.length, s2.length and base str are maximum 10 to the power of 3, where you can say that s1 and s2 are of the same length, where you can assume it length m, but base string can be of another length and you can take it as n, right? So even if you write an mn algorithm, it is going to pass. It will be only 10 to the power of 6. So our goal should be to write an algorithm with less than 10 to the power 8 computations, but we will be looking at the optimal solution anyway. And S1, S2 base str consist only of the lowercase English letters. So I think the problem statement is clear. Now let's look at how to maintain the set of set. So we will be taking the disjoint set data structure, particularly disjoint set union find, in order to maintain the set of set and try to make the absolute parent of the set as the smallest lexicographical item. Let's see how to do that. So I have two strings S1 and S2. I will be parsing through it. It is of m size, right? Now if you look at the 0th character, P and M are the same, isn't it? So find the absolute parent of P. If you go to the index of P, it is 15. How to get it? You just subtract whatever character there is by A, isn't it? That is how you get 15. The value is -1. That means the absolute parent of P is P itself. Okay, it is P itself. So I am just replacing it with an index value. For M, what is the absolute parent of M? If you look at M, 12, it is again -1, which means 12 is the absolute parent. So if they are both absolute parent of themselves, then they both are different. If they both are different, means they belong to two different disjoint set. So union is possible between them. If they both had the same value, then union wouldn't be possible. They already belong to the same set. So in this case, they do not belong to the same set. So union is possible. And when you want to take union, I will always make the larger value point to the smaller value. So here 15's parent will be 12. Okay. So that I will keep P always as the root node. Always as the root node of the entire structure. So I'll show you with the diagram how it is done. Now let's say for this first index, if you compare A and O, A is the absolute parent of itself, O is the absolute parent of itself. So they both are different values, 0 and 14. So 14 will be pointing to 0. Okay, so you can say that O will be pointing to A, right? Now if you compare this R, then in this case R and R are same. So if you check the absolute parent of R, it is both 17. So union will not be possible in this case. They already belong to the same set. So R is actually separate. They already belong to the same set. If you look at the third index, k and r are equal. So look at the value at k, it is -1, and look at the value at r, it is also -1, right? So which one is smaller? K is smaller. What is the absolute parent of r? It is the same. So 17 will be pointing to 10 now. That means r will be pointing to k. If you go to the next item, e and I, look at this e and look at I. They both have -1 values. That means they both belong to two different sets. 4 and 8 are their actual indices. So 8 will be pointing to 4. This means I will be pointing to E. Okay. And for the last one, R and S, you look at R and you look at S. Who is the absolute parent of S? It is the same item 18. Who is the absolute parent of R? You have to apply find on it. So from 17 you go to 10, and at 10 it is -1. That means K is the absolute parent of R. So look at this value 10 and 18. So 18 should point to 10. Okay, that means S will be pointing to K. So this is how 4 sets have been defined in this case. Okay, all the 4 sets have now been defined. After this, what you have to do? You have to convert this base string to the lexicographically smallest string that you can make. So go to this first character, which is P. So look at P. What is the absolute parent of P? It is 12. It is 12. So look at the absolute parent. P to 12. Okay, so where is this 12? Here, right? 12, it is -1. So you have to replace it by the given equivalent character M. Right? Go to the first character A. A's value is -1. This means it is already the absolute parent. So replace it by A itself. Now for R, go to R. It is referring to 10. Go to 10. It is not referring anywhere. It is -1. That means K is the absolute parent. Replace it with K. For this S, go to this S. It is referring to 10. Go to 10. It is -1. So K will be replacing here. Right? For this E, go to E. It is -1. That means E will be the one. And for this R, you see, for this last one R, go to R again. It is referring to 10. So it will be replaced by K. So this will be the lexicographically smallest string that you can convert from the given base string given the equivalence relationship between S1 and S2. So in this entire process, we had to parse through string S1 and S2 exactly one time, and that is going to be order of M. But we are also applying find on it, and the find is equals to inverse Ackermann function. So here I will be assuming order of 1 for that. So order of M entirely to make the disjoint set. And after that, you are going in order of n time through all the items in the base string, and for each of the item you are applying find operation. Again, it is inverse Ackermann function, which I will be taking order of 1. So the total time complexity in this case is going to be m plus n, which is the length of S1, S2, and second one is the length of the base str. And the space complexity is going to be order of 1. Okay, because it will depend on the recursive function on the find, and since I'm taking the time to be order of 1, the call stack size will also be order of 1. And this one is only 26 size, so this is also order of 1, right? So overall space complexity will be order of 1. I hope it is clear. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number. In this problem, you can look at the input S1 and S2, and we are given the base string. So I'll be taking the disjoint set union find structure, which is of 26 size, predefined with -1. That means every node is a absolute parent of themselves. And the step 1 is to build disjoint equivalent set. You can just remove this disjoint equivalent set with the smallest in each set as the absolute parent. So we will be iterating for all the items in S1, S2, and if they both items are same, then union will not be possible, and so I will be continuing simply, right? And if they are different, then I will be finding the absolute parent of both of them separately. If they have the same absolute parent, that means they already belong to the same set, isn't it? And if they already belong to the same set, I do not want to join them. I do not want to take union between them. It will not be possible. Now if they belong to two different set, then I will be taking union and I will be checking which one is larger. So the larger one will always be pointing to the smaller one. So if px is larger, then px will point to py. Otherwise py will point to px, right? So after this step is done, we have created all the set of sets where the absolute parent will always be the smallest ASCII value. And so I will be taking the string result. Okay, in this case I'm not considering this into the space complexity because this is returning your result. If you consider this, then the space complexity will become order of n, as I had explained, right? We need to now just iterate over the entire base string, look at each of the character one by one, find the absolute parent and push it into the result, and finally return the result. This will always give you the lexicographically smallest string possible after converting the base string. This is the find code which I have already explained in my disjoint set video. So I hope you will watch that video. If you still have any doubt, then feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.